Nope. Alright, we got Cleave combo and an Atrocity lethal. Let's go. Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. I've got a highly requested, returning, fan favorite deck that I want to cover, and that is my Tempo Original Mono SI. This deck aims to play at a variety of speeds: aggressive, slow, mid-range, you name it, this deck can do it. Fearsome's early, removal mid, and Hecarim Harrowing for top-end wincon. It is an Allegiance deck, meaning it runs primarily Shadow Isles cards, so if you like SI and Wraiths, then this deck is for you. I want to run through my card choices, explain why they're in the deck, and give you the knowledge to pilot the deck yourself. The code for the deck will be in the description below, along with the Mobalytics link. Before I get into the deck profile, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay, and also consider visiting my Patreon for additional benefits. With that, I hope you enjoy this deck profile. Okay, so for a little bit of context before I get into the list specifically, Mono SI is the deck that I used to hit Diamond this season. Many long-term viewers will remember that Mono SI is one of my identities as a Legends Runeterra player. It's one of my favorite decks, and I'm really excited to show you the updated list with the new card Soul Cleave. So right away, I feel like a lot of players are going to compare this to Kalista and Nocturne, which is another take on the Fearsome deck with the Wraiths and stuff, and they're going to ask, okay, why play Elise and Hecarim? Why not just play the Kalista Nocturne version? And the quick answer to that is they are very different decks. I would say barely even comparable. Where Kalista Nocturne is a super aggressive deck that wants to finish the game quickly, get out the Fearsomes, as fast as possible, ramping damage with the Hollow procs and stuff like that. This deck is actually a bit on the slower side. It wants to play truly in the mid game. It has removal tools, it has flexible tech options like Quietus and stuff like that we can throw in, and it wants to play a little bit more on the turns 6 through 8, rather than trying to end the game as soon as possible. So yes, they are very different decks, definitely in terms of the pacing. Okay, so let's talk about the list specifically. We have 2 Mark of the Isles, so we can match combat tricks. Other marks, we can match Sharp Sight, stuff like that. Maybe prevent one of our units from being shot by like Mystic Shot or any other removal. They live, they get to commit combat, all kinds of good stuff. Next we have Arachnoid Horror, Elise, and Mistwraith as our turn 2 units. We want to play Fearsome, just like the Fearsome aggro deck, but mainly because we want to have strong mid-game pushes. So we want to set up the Horror, set up the Elise, that way we have nice skitter turns, or we want to set up multiple Mistwraiths so we have really good Wraithcaller turns, especially in conjunction with the Soul Cleave. Next we have Triple Vile Feast for removal, and then Frenzied Skitter, which is one of our Soul Cleave targets. I think it's like the second best target in this deck, right after Wraithcaller. Really nice if we have a bunch of spiders actually developed. Maybe we go for Elise level, which is pretty rare, but it can come up. And then we have really scary attack turns. Next we have Soul Cleave itself. Kill an ally to summon 2 ephemeral copies of it. This is a new combo tool for the deck. It's basically like a baby harrowing, depending on who we use it on. Ideally, we use it on Wraithcaller. That way we summon 2 more Wraithcallers. If the Allegiance proc hits, which it should, then we get a bunch of Wraiths, right? We get 2 Caller, 2 Wraith on top of what we already have on the board, so it's really scary. Upwards of like 20 damage. Most of it is unblockable by 2 attack or less units, so it can come up in the mid game right on attack 4. It can also come up on attack 5 if you're attacking on odds, and be a really threatening push. Next we have One of Deny. Just a quick little deny. So the main reason for that is because we want to play all Shadow Isles cards, so we run 39 of those, but we do have 1 Ionia card teched in just to throw off the opponents on the ladder. They might think we're playing some kind of Sharp Chariot Ephemerals. They want to be worried about multiple denies, maybe Nopified, maybe Twin Disciplines, stuff like that. Maybe even Dragon Ambush, so that way we can like throw them off, when we're in reality we're actually only just playing 1 little deny, so that we don't hurt our Allegiance. We want to hit our Allegiance as much as possible, which means we need to play primarily basically all Shadow Isles cards. Next we have Risen Mist for Mist-Wraith synergy. Then we have Wraithcaller, of course, our primary Soul Cleave target, really good in the mid game to do some damage pushes. Then we have Hecarim, who is also a really good Soul Cleave target actually. If we develop Hecarim and let's say we used 1 Soul Cleave earlier in the game, we can use a second one on Hecarim and he'll level. And that's really scary. Again, it's like mini harrowing, so that can turn on a win con quite early actually. And then this obviously makes our harrowing later, if we have to get into it, really strong. I'm talking like 50 plus damage strong. Next we have Triple Vengeance to deal with go tall units, If they play below Spell Shield or we're able to proc Spell Shield with the Vile Feast, then we have nice little single target removal, really good for us here. Next we have 2 Atrocity as a potential win con. Our Wraiths do get quite big in this deck, and if the opponent taps below, you know, lots of mana, we can just use Atrocity as a quick finisher. And then we also have Harrowing as our other alternate win con, so I like to run 2 Atrocity, 2 Harrowing. That way, whichever one comes up, we can play around it and just try to close out the game that way. Okay, so before I get into the games, I want to leave you with a little bit more extra knowledge. This deck is very, very good into removal-based decks. Think like Swain P&Z, Swain Bilgewater, you know, things like that. Things that don't have access to deny, but also want to use removal to trade 1-for-1. Like, let's say we play Arachnoid Horror, that gets traded with the Death's Hand. We play Mist Wraith, that also gets Death's Hand. Frenzy Skitter, that gets Mystic Shotted. That's fine, because the opponent is losing 1 resource at a time, and we're going to summon them all back with Harrowing, and they cannot deal with it at all. Harrowing just becomes an instant win con versus the Noxus control style decks. So it's very good into those. However, the caveat is we are very, very bad into Ionia. Deny, Nopify, things like that really slow us down. Concussive Palm, stunning us, fearsome blockers, that kind of stuff is really, really bad. So this deck would be considered a rogue or anti-meta deck. I usually whip it out whenever Noxus removal is like at the top of the top, and then we're able to play this and get some quick wins. And like I mentioned before, there are some tech choices. You can slow down the deck quite a bit if you want to run Quietus and play a little bit more on the control side. You can run Grasp, you can run Withering Wail, depending on the meta, all kinds of stuff. And honestly, you can also go out of Ionia, take out the Deny, and you can run like 2 or 3 of something out of region. You can do Culling Strike, you can do Quicksand from Shurima. There's a lot of flexibility in tech options that really show your skill when piloting this deck, so I highly recommend it. Again, this is a fan favorite. This is one that I've been known for throughout the past couple of years, and I'm really happy that I've finally been able to update it in a super significant way with the new card Soul Cleave. And that about wraps it up for the deck profile. Now here's some live commentary games so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context while I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. Alright, for game 1 we have a newly buffed Shyvana and reworked Lucian deck. Sounds pretty good. I think Demacia SI actually a pretty decent combo. They're probably playing like the Shadow Walls Dragons, so this is going to be really interesting, some self-slay stuff. I actually really like the idea of this deck. So let's go ahead and pitch Atrocity. Probably also the Hecarim. We want to play a little bit on the faster side, especially since we see Frenzied Skitter and Soul Cleave. I could honestly pitch this too and just go for a Wraith Opener and call it a day. I don't think Frenzied Skitter is that fantastic unless we see exactly Elise in hand and maybe even Arachnoid Sentry. So let's pitch it, just keep Soul Cleave, try to go for combo, try to go for some early Wraith stuff, love that. We drew our 1 of Deny, so now our Allegiance is guaranteed. That's always nice, because sometimes, you know, you hit that 1 out of 32 and that feels pretty bad. So we'll go ahead and play Mist Wraith on 2. We also have Vile Feast, which is nice.
Push back the darkness.
We could actually whip that out now on the Lucian. Gives us a blocker for the 2-1 as well. They'd have to be on Tough, like Ranger's Resolve, right, to stop this. You want to swing? Nope. Okay. Then we'll play our Mist Wraith on turn 3. Then we have Caller on defense 4. Then we have Soul Cleave on 5. Really nice.
How soon Demacia forgets.
I'm actually down to trade up into that with Mark of the Isles, because we have the mana to play our Wraith Caller and Soul Cleave later. So we can be a little liberal with our units here and our spells. Just send them out. Ah, boom. Alright, so Wraithcaller on 4. You love to see it. Guaranteed Allegiance. Hopefully they can't interrupt our Soul Cleave. A lot of times they probably can with like Concerted Strike and stuff like that. But fun fact, like Wraithcaller being 3 HP actually makes Soul Cleave relatively safe. That is fine. And a Pain. Viper Worm. Yeah, this is fine. We can block Mist Wraith to Viper Worm. If this is happening, then we will just chump block this with the 1-1. It's ephemeral, so it's dying anyways. We're just going to prevent some damage. Gonna put the pan on the Viper Worm, probably. Alright, let's do Soul Cleave. Big combo, ready for this damage? If this actually resolves, hopefully no single combat or Concerted Strike. Like, we could play safe and do Wraith Caller, but I really want to do combo. Ah, boom. Single combat is fine because we kill the Viper Worm, just not Concerted, please. Oh no. Oh, Strafing Strike, that's also bad. We kill. It's basically the same thing as single combat. Oh well. No fun combo for us. We'll just swing with our Mist Wraith and go next turn. Yep, that unit can't block, so I don't care. Here's a really nice thing about this deck, though, and I'm kind of happy that the Soul Cleave got interrupted. This deck does not rely on the Soul Cleave combo. It's just kind of there as a 3-mana mini Harrowing. If it resolves, oh, fantastic. If not, that's okay. I mean, we still play just fine. Our deck is insanely strong with or without Soul Cleave. Yeah, you're not attacking with Shyvana, are you? This is going to go up to 5. I'm going to Burst Speed Risen Miss, and then we'll have a blocker for the Shyvana here. They never expect it. Ready? Ah, boom. Risen Mist, Burst Speed blocker, and also increased attack. Kill the Shyvana. Ah, boom. We're threatening 14 on open. I'd rather play the Hecarim and then have a full attacking board because he attacks with 2 Ephemeral Riders, which is more damage for us. And we want him to attack once or resolve a Soul Cleave once. That way we have Harrowing, and then that will level him. Ah, boom. Look at this pressure. Crazy attack turn 6 here.
Back later.
Minus 20. Hey! Exact OTK lethal. Alright, for game 2 we have Soraka Illaoi. I've heard that this deck is actually pretty decent. So we're going to play our Fearsomes and try to counter the Soraka. Also, Illaoi can't block Fearsome either. So that's pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and pitch the Harrowing and the Atrocity for sure. Again, just like last game, we'll pitch the Skitter because we don't see it alongside Elise or Sentry. We could probably keep the Deny. That way we have guaranteed Allegiance procs, and Deny is really good into Tentacle Smash and other slow speed spells they try to play. Okay, we have Elise for attack 2, which is obviously very good. That's like ideal for us. We'll play that.
I pull the strings.
No Fearsome blocker on 2, please. That would be lame. No Boxtopus or anything like that, okay? We don't play that here. We never play Boxtopus here. Alright, perfect. So we'll swing, get some spiders on the board. We can play Arachnoid Horror as well, and then maybe next attack turn we can threaten Elise level, which, again, comes up sometimes in this deck. Not a super high priority, but if you get it, that's cool. Vengeance, very good into Illaoi if they play below Spell Shield. Love that. Tentacle Smash, yes. We are going to use Deny. Good thing we held it. That's pretty nice. We can just use our defense 3 for Deny. No Smash for you. Soul Cleave, not super great. Yeah, we could play Arachnoid Horror and then just full send it. We can use Mark of the Owls to trade up Elise into the Tentacle. And just get board pressure here, right? Yeah, we just need board. Hey, there's the Boxtopus. So it's probably gonna be Boxtopus to 3-2, 3-3 to 2-3. Yeah, we'll mark, trade, reset their tentacle. It is now Dedge. Then we're going into 5 floating 1. Uh-oh, Sunblessed. That way we can Vengeance something on summon. Like, let's say they play Illaoi on attack 5. We'll just Vengeance her outright, and then go next turn. Turn 5 in this deck is usually a break. Like, you can use it for defense. Oh, or we can set up. Soraka. Yeah, we'll Vengeance. Do not like Soraka healing Tentacle here. Don't want it, don't need it. Easy enough. Another one of those, just getting some Celestials, very cool. Harrowing, that's fantastic actually. So our attack 8 can be Harrowing. We'll just need to float, which should be easy. They can't do anything about it. Bilge Targon is a good combo, because they have no access to a deny. Another Watchful Idol. Guiding Touch, heal up to 3. My Wraiths still kill it. Just value trading, taking 7 total? Alright. Yeah, Harrowing should be a good win con for us. Like, we can set up, we can do Soul Cleave and Glimpse, so we empty our board, and then just do a really big Harrowing. Okay, double Soul Cleave? No, that's extra. We can't do both.
A new journey.
We will whip out one of them, though. And then float 2, yeah. There, this should deter the attack, honestly. They don't want to attack into a couple 5-2s. That's way too scary. Moon Glow. Maybe they don't care. I guess we'll see. Let's also do Glimpse on the 1/1. There we go. There we go. Cool. Now we're floating 2 going into our next turn, which we need for Harrowing, and our board is going to be nice and empty and ready for more Wraiths.
Stars fall.
Oh yeah, that's fine. How strong is this?
Live with purpose.
4/6. Yeah, might as well block both of these since they're ephemeral dying anyways. Lower this. Bonk. Bonk. And then we're going to full send it. Yep. Ah, boom. Okay. Alright, that is quite scary, yes? They currently have 2 fearsome blockers. Just 2. And if any of my fearsomes get in, well, at least the Wraiths, we have automatic lethal. That does not help. Same 1 tentacle is getting amped up, and that is game, yep. I'll send it.
You won't suffer long.
There they go. Alright, for game 3, we have the ever-popular Kayle Leona. So we're going to go ahead and pitch the Atrocity, Mark, Vengeance. I want to cleave at least once this video, so I'm going to keep the Cleave. Try to go for, yeah, Wraithcaller. We're attacking on odds, so it'll be attack 5 Soul Cleave combo. We also have Vengeance, Vile Feast, Risen Mist. So a flexible hand, offensive and defensive utility. And an Atrocity win con.
My faith protects me.
That's fine. I'll just take 3.
Scorching light.
Yep. You got it. I probably just want to lead this turn with the Risen Mist, right? Oh, or we can just play the Wraith. Ooh. Let's do Risen Mist. And then attack, and then play the Wraith after. Because I don't want to attack into another Solari Shield Bearer. I don't want to get Sunhawk stunned. I don't want to get Sun Guardians. So I think it's best to just take our 2 damage here, or threat miss. Both really good for us, and then play Mist Wraith. Developing into, yes, Daybreak is really risky. Because they have premium units. So you basically have to commit to open attacking. Alright. Solari. I just go ahead and Wraithcaller. That's fine. We don't want to sack our Wraithcaller, so we're going to keep that here. We will only block with our 4/2s if we find it necessary to do so.
Reporting in.
Okay. Or 5. I want to leave this. If anything, I block the Solari Soldier just to prevent some damage, right? Yeah, because I don't think I want to go down to 7 versus a super aggro deck. That does not seem good. Leona on 5 is going to be kind of annoying. Like, I know this is not going to be a blocker next turn. I get that, but going down to 7 is pretty brutal. I could play as slow as possible and also block this. Just keep the game going in our favor. I like that. It's fine. Again, we are not aggro. We are not Callista Nocturne. We are Elise Hecarim. We have control tools. So we want to slow the game down if possible, especially against an aggro deck. Soul Cleave. Nice. We got the Soul Cleave combo. Leona will come down. Oh, no Leona. Swing, swing. Both of these also swing since they're ephemeral. We only lose one Wraith, we get to keep one. Nice. Alright, I mean, this puts us ahead on the board. Then we have Vengeance for their champions. Pale Cascade, okay. It's still dying, unless you're on another Pale. No? That was weird. I guess just doing it for draw. Alright, fair enough. Pass. Alright, what you got? Bravoon. That's getting Vengeance. On summon. Just Vengeance. Bye-bye. Rear guard. Sure.
I'll do better this time.
Yep. We have Atrocity lethal next turn. We just swing with both. That's 9. Then we Atrocity Wraith. Homie can't block. Or we can play slow and do Arachnoid and Skitter. That's also fine. Because I'm not super scared of Leona, I don't think. I mean, that does prevent a lot of damage. I think just taking the 9 is correct into their deck. Taking the 9, for sure. Bonk, bonk. Like, there's not a lot they can do about Atrocity Face. There just isn't. A lot of these lists dropped Noxian Fervor and Interaction, so, I mean, it should just be safe.
What's this? A new flock.
I mean, I guess they could be, like, the crazy individual that has Fervor. Nope. Alright, we got Cleave combo and an Atrocity lethal. Let's go! Alright, and some ending notes because, honestly, I'm just very passionate about this deck. I love this deck. I play it a ton. If you want to see more gameplay of it, definitely come check out the stream, and then I'd be happy to play it for you. But also, I just want to talk about the Harrowing synergies real quick to leave off. So, Harrowing is really cool in this deck because no matter what, as long as some things have died, there's synergy and there's value. So there's obviously value with the spider stuff. There's also Frenzied Skitter, so if 1 or 2 Skitter die and they come back through Harrowing, they zap one after another. So they'll zap all the opponent's units, grow all your spiders, and then like a second one comes out, zaps all the enemy units again, buffs all your spiders again, and you can have a win con that way. Now let's say instead of Frenzied Skitter, like you didn't resolve it that game, you have a bunch of Wraiths. If you play Wraith, 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 and then they all come out, then you have like 8 attack Wraiths, each one swinging into face. That's obviously really good as well. And then, like, let's say Hecarim died, or maybe your champions in general, at least Hecarim, and then like some combination of units, Hecarim levels, and then you have a win con that way. So it's just really fun. It like truly plays around like Harrowing synergies, and that's what I really like about the deck. And it's also super consistent early, mid, late. It's just like really flexible, really versatile as well. So yeah. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!